Hi, Dee Tozer here. So what are the 6 mistakes unhappy couples make? I used to call these the 6 behaviours, and then over the years I realised they are mistakes and we learn from our mistakes. The overall mistake is that these 6 mistakes alienate and isolate one partner from the other. And who wants that to happen to their relationship? Who wants to coexist like that? Mistake number 1 is to react. A reaction could be a simple eye roll or a shoulder shrug, or it could be a hostile arc up with nasty words, or even a silent walk away. Now you might be thinking, well, everyone does that. What's wrong with that? What else can I do? Well, what's wrong is that reacting is usually a knee-jerk. It's emotionally charged with no focus on any particular outcome. One of you usually feels unjustly treated. It causes a divide between you. Now, instead of reacting, a better option is to respond, which is where you are focused on the outcome you want, remaining calm and taking your time to respectfully, considerately suggest looking at the situation a different way. Your desired outcome might be to find a compromise or make sure your partner doesn't feel silly or stupid for thinking the way he or she does. The key to responding is remaining calm and taking time to put your words together. Hence, your emotionality in the heat of the moment is under control as you take charge of yourself and look beyond yourself at the bigger picture. Mistake number 2 is listening to reply. Now, when I mention this during a couple session, usually one or both partners are a little bit baffled and take a bit to get what I mean. They say, but how else can I reply if I don't listen? Which is true. The problem here is when you're forming your reply almost at the outset of what your partner is saying to you. You're not truly listening to what he or she is saying. Frequently you get the gist of what your partner is saying after just a word or two, and you might interrupt, cut him or her off, jump in with your opinion or your decision, and so on. And that's what I mean by listening to reply. Not truly listening to your partner's words, not letting him or her finish the sentence, which translates as not giving your partner your full attention, or registering what he or she is feeling or wanting you to hear, which could be at the heart of the matter. Mistake number 3 is to self-justify. This one is a wowzer because it's often masked as explaining why you feel how you feel or why you think what you think, when it isn't genuinely explaining and putting a reason to it. In reality, it's saying, I know better, I'm right and you're wrong. An example of self-justification could be, well, I've always done maybe the washing that way. It's how I learned as I grew up. It served me just fine. Self-justifying blocks the other person's input because it leaves his or her partner with nowhere to go with a reply. Any reply he or she makes adds fuel to the fire. Hence, the only option left is to be quiet and probably walk away, and so deepening the great divide. Mistake number 4 is to be intolerant. We all have a fairly good idea of what intolerance is. It can come across in several ways. It can be uncompromising or unforgiving, dogmatic or blinkered. How it shows up in a relationship is what's crucial to weakening the couple bond, and it typically shows up as a disguised form of control. If a partner is dogmatic and insisting on his or her beliefs being followed and allowed or accepted, then there isn't room for compromise, and forgiveness doesn't get a look in. Without compromise and forgiveness on both sides, closeness and intimacy can't exist. Mistake number 5, to be stubborn. We all know stubborn people. Stubborn behaviours, being obstinate, headstrong, contrary or strong-willed, and it's not difficult to see how any one of these can deeply impact a couple's chances of an enduring relationship, because one partner's determination to have their own way ends up calling the shots and stifling the other partner. This is certainly not a form of control in disguise. It's a very open, overt form of control. Being stubborn is not a universally attractive quality, yet stubborn people are often proud of that character trait, even if it is off-putting to others, and hence unwilling to modify and adapt. They seem to think they might lose their individuality. So to mistake number 6, to be unreasonable. I put this one last because it does stand alone, even though each of the other 5 mistakes can fall into the category of unreasonableness to a degree. I personally like this description of unreasonable. Beyond the limits of acceptability or fairness. I talk about fairness and unfairness in several other areas of my online coaching because it's such a hot topic. It boils down to the simplicity of if one partner loses out most of the time, then unfairness is often present. Where one partner refuses to consider or accommodate the other partner's wishes or their views or ideas with virtually no sense of concern about how the other partner feels, then unreasonableness is probably the root cause of so much unhappiness and isolation there. There's a limit to how much unfairness a relationship can withstand before large cracks of self-protection appear. So now to summarise, these 6 mistakes create significant unhappiness. In particular, they cause one partner to become alienated from the other one. Any 2 mistakes out of the overall 6 are sufficient to bring a relationship to breaking point. If you'd like to explore further, then click on the Show Me More button below and I'll send you a personal invitation to my next free webinar. In that webinar, I'll expose the number 1 reason couples break up, which is also the silent intimacy killer. I'll also be revealing the 3 myths that destroy relationships and the 4 more reasons why couples are unhappy. These are key to understanding what's causing your relationship distress. So make sure you click on the button below so you receive an invitation to join my webinar. I hope you found this video helpful and it helps you jumpstart creating more harmony in your relationship.